Hello everyone and welcome to the Sea of Thieves Tall Tale tutorial. Today we're going to be doing the very first of the new update, A Pirate's Life. So the general theme of these tutorials, and indeed the update, is based around the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So if you've seen those, you'll probably have at least some idea about what's going on and who the characters are. But if you have no idea who the characters are or what's going on, then all the more reason to stick around and follow us as we help you complete this first tall tale. Also, Captain Flameheart appeared to me in a dream last night and told me that anyone who didn't leave a like on this video would be sent to Davy Jones's locker, so just bear that in mind. Also, I've placed a random Patrick star from SpongeBob SquarePants at some point in this video, so if you find it, please let me know in the comment section below. So in order to start this tall tale, you must first find the castaway camp, where you will find 5 tall tales. Vote on the first one, called A Pirate's Life. The castaway will then proceed to tell you a long story about a soul trapped beneath the ferry of the damned. After listening to a very interesting tale, she will open a portal for you to another world that will be very clearly visible just out to sea between 2 giant rocks. You will also be given a book with a little bit of backstory into this tall tale, although it doesn't really offer much in the way of clues. Basically, all that you will need to do is jump in your ship and sail into the green portal. You will be taken to a gateway area between the 2 worlds where you will be met by a ghostly parrot. You can't control the ship within this area, so feel free to take a look around, as I think this area looks really interesting. The developers have clearly spent a lot of time developing these new areas, and they could possibly yet be the most interesting tall tales so far. Eventually you will make it through to the portal on the other side, triggering a really cool camera cinematic in which your ship appears to be sailing off into the distance. At last you will be taken to a whole new area within the game called Strange Shores that do not appear on the map. By far your best bet to finding your way is to just follow the current direction of the ship straight forward towards the island. Head up the beach area towards the shipwreck, where you should be able to see a statue of a man holding a bell just outside of a caved area. Follow along the path until you're taken to the first area where several ghostly lanterns will ignite and you'll be greeted by a ghostly voice. Here you will come across a doorway surrounded by several dead skeletons, one of which is holding up a lantern that requires a cursed flame of light. There is a second skeleton on the other side of the door with a lantern, and there is a fire pit behind you, where you must raise your lantern in order to take the flame of souls to light the other lanterns scattered across the room. Lighting these lanterns will open the doorway to the next area. When the door is open, head through to the next area. You will be greeted by a ghostly voice telling you that dead men tell no tales. Get used to hearing this, as he will repeat it a lot. When you're confronted by the next door, just to the left there are 3 skeletons against the wall. One of them you have to move the arm and light his lantern. From the skeleton against the wall, turn to the left and head through the next cave area until you come across a rowboat with a lantern on top. This is the lantern you need to light next. Heading back through the cave area, you will be confronted by several ghosts performing different actions. The ghosts will turn their ghostly anchor, which will open the door to the next room. Here you will be met by more ghosts and a ghost captain on a ship to the left. There is nothing hindering your progress here, but feel free to have a look around before you continue. When you are ready, head through to the next area, but be careful of your footing, as you will have to travel across wooden planks and jump across gaps. More green lanterns will ignite as you travel along the path. This will indicate that you are heading in the right direction. From the 3 skeletons in the main room, turn to the left and head directly through the waterfall up the cave area until you find a dead skeleton with an oar handle sticking out of him. Place the oar lever into the switch, which will open the door, and head through to the next room. Once again, be careful of your footing, as you will have to travel across thin beams and jump over gaps. Turn the anchor in the next room. This will lower the drawbridge, giving you access to the next area. Ensure that you have this lantern lit before you head across the drawbridge. It should be just to the left of the drawbridge, sat on a table. Use the pulley to raise the beam to the right in order to access the next area. I would advise that you have a running start before you make your jumps, otherwise you won't have the necessary speed to make it across. Once you are safely across, head down to the drawbridge. Just to the left at the far end of the pier you will see another lantern. Use your lantern to light this one. Once you have ensured that all the lanterns in the area are lit, use the pulley previously used to lower the drawbridge in the distance. Head over the drawbridge and through the cave area until you find a ghost skeleton sat on top of a pile of gold. Just behind the pile of gold to the right, next to the waterfall, there is another cave area with a path you must follow. This next area has very narrow and difficult jumps, so please take care when jumping across this next section. Once you have made it through safely to the next area, there will be some ladders on the right hand side that you must climb. Here you will find an armory box where you can change your weapon. This is necessary because you need a sword to slash a rope just next to you. Head back down the ladders and across the walkway until you find another pulley. Use this pulley to pull a platform towards you. You must jump on the platform before it starts moving away, as when it moves away it will carry you safely across to the next area. Once you are safely across, there's a few more jumps that you must get over before sliding down a waterfall. This will take you out of the cave area and into the open air. Finally, you have one brazier to light on the left. This will open the gate. Head through the next area until you're greeted by the voice of a ghostly skeleton head suspended high in a cage. Find the ruins of the ship with the stairs leading up to them and head on top of the ship. Traverse carefully across the broken mast of the ship until you reach the ruins of another broken ship. From here you will need to drop inside the ruins of the ship. Don't worry, it's filled with water and you won't get hurt. Once you have landed into the water, you must swim through to the next area. Here you will find another pulley with a platform. Stand on the platform and pull the pulley until you reach the top. Once you have reached the top, there is another pulley rope that you must pull. This will pull a platform with some crates up, allowing you a jumpable platform to get across to the next area. Once you have reached the top, there is another rope that you must pull in order to move some platforms. If you have a teammate with you, they may stand on the platform and you can pull them across. Otherwise, try and get both platforms around the center area and you should be able to jump across both safely. Once you have made it safely across, you must head across the bow of the shipwreck until you reach the cage of the skull. Although he will tell you to lower him down gently, what you have to do is pull out your lantern and ignite the rope, and that will send him crashing to the ground. You must then locate the key to open his cage. He explains that the key was taken by his mutinous crew that will most likely be in the tavern. Head to the back of the tavern and climb up where you will find another pulley. Use the pulley to lower the platform with the skeleton drinking on top of it. This is where the key is hidden. Next, head back to the cage and unlock it. Since he doesn't have a body anymore, you have to carry his skull around and he will talk to you. He does say that he wants to look around, and you can do this if you want to find some cool stuff or just to have a look around for yourself, but the main objective here is to head towards the lighthouse. Once you reach the top of the lighthouse, attach his skull to the skeletal body, where he will explain that you must use the lighthouse in order to summon the ferryman. Next, you have to use the lighthouse beam in order to light 3 beacons. Once you have lit all 3 beacons, the ferryman will appear. At this point, you should head back to the ghostly skeleton and collect his skull once more. Then you must head down to his ship, which he indicates is the shipwreck with the red sails. There is a skeleton sat outside of a door. You must place his skull onto the skeleton. Once he has opened the door, reclaim his skull and head towards his cabin. You will have to traverse along the wreckage of the ship and up a few sets of ladders. When you have reached the cabin, place his skull onto the cursed captain's body. He will reward you with a key to his side door, which you must travel through, leading you to a rowboat. You can then use this rowboat to make it to the ferry of the damned. Use the rowboat to row across to the Ferry of the Damned, making sure to dock it onto the back of the ship, otherwise you won't be able to access the Ferry of the Damned. Climb up the ladders onto the top of the ferryman and make your way around to the Well of Fates, where you must take the flame. This will create a hole in the ferryman that you can travel down. Lighting the first torch will gain access to the first door. You must light both lanterns located on either side of the wall in this next room in order to open the next door. And this is where you will meet the man himself, Captain Jack Sparrow. In order to free Jack, you must take the key from the dog in order to open his cell door. Once you have freed Jack, make your way to the top of the ferryman, where the ferryman will tell you how Captain Jack must be returned to his prison. Unfortunately, that isn't going to happen, as Davy Jones himself turns up. This next section includes a fight that lasts for several rounds. To help you with this fight, there are 3 barrels in the bottom of the ferryman with an infinite supply of cannonballs, and 2 other barrels with quite a lot of food. For the first stage of this fight, you must shoot cannonballs at the Flying Dutchman until the second phase, where the ship will be boarded by crew from the Flying Dutchman. You must fight off these crew members until the next phase, where you will once again shoot cannonballs, rinse and repeat until the fight is over. You will know that the fight is over when a cutscene is triggered in which Jack's treasure is taken from him, and eventually Jack himself. After a stern telling off from the ferryman, we are allowed to return safely to the Sea of Thieves. And that, guys, is the end of our very first tall tale for the new Sea of Thieves A Pirate's Life update. I'd just like to thank you all very much for watching my very first Tall Tale tutorial from the new update. Please like, subscribe and all that good stuff. And if you did manage to find the Patrick Star hidden within this video, please let me know in the comment section below where you found it. Once again, I just want to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you out there on this Sea of Thieves. Take care, guys.